Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving deep into a truly incredible story. We're going to talk about how the longest living mammal on the entire planet, the bowhead whale, might just hold the key to fighting cancer and even aging itself.
And our story doesn't start in some high-tech lab. It actually starts with centuries of wisdom from the Alaskan and Inupiat Inuit people. For generations, they've known that the bowhead whale has this extraordinary lifespan, living what they call 2 human lifetimes.
And get this, modern science has totally proven them right. By using some pretty cool techniques like analyzing the amino acids in their eye lenses, scientists have confirmed that, yep, some bowhead whales live for more than 200 years. That makes them the undisputed longevity champs of the whole mammalian world.
But this unbelievable lifespan, especially when you consider their gigantic size, these things can weigh up to 80,000 kilograms. It creates this huge biological puzzle for scientists.
It's something called Peto's paradox, and here's the basic idea. Every single cell in your body is like a tiny lottery ticket for cancer. The more cells you have and the longer you live, the more tickets you have, and the more chances for one of those cells to go rogue and turn cancerous.
So, logically, a giant whale living for 2 centuries should be an absolute tumor factory. It just makes sense. But it's not. The cancer rates in whales are shockingly low. So, how on earth are they pulling this off?
Well, for a long time, the leading theory on how big animals beat cancer came from studying another giant. Literally, the elephant in the room. You see, elephants have evolved to have a bunch of extra copies of a really famous cancer-fighting gene called TP53. You can think of it like this ridiculously over-the-top security system. The second a cell shows even a tiny hint of DNA damage, this system freaks out and triggers what's called apoptosis, basically programmed cell death, and it just demolishes the cell before it can cause any trouble.
So it just made perfect sense, right? Scientists figured, okay, the bowhead whale is even bigger and lives even longer, so it must have the most aggressive, most sensitive cell destruction system ever. They went looking for the ultimate cellular demolition crew. But, and this is a big but, when researchers actually put this idea to the test, what they found was completely shocking. It didn't just question the theory, it completely blew it out of the water.
Okay, so they took whale cells and human cells into the lab and tried to turn them cancerous, and the result was just stunning. To make a human cell malignant, it takes 5 specific genetic mutations, or hits. But for the bowhead whale cells, it only took 4. Their cells were actually easier to turn cancerous, not harder, the complete opposite of what anyone expected.
This was a total curveball. What is going on here? It proved the whale was not using the elephant's demolish everything strategy. In fact, on paper, its cells looked even more vulnerable. The mystery had just gotten way deeper.
The answer, it turns out, isn't about being quick on the trigger to destroy. It's about being an absolute master of repair. The whale's whole strategy isn't to just eliminate damaged cells, it's to fix them. Perfectly.
So, when the researchers looked at how fast cells could fix the absolute worst kind of DNA damage, a double-strand break, where the DNA ladder is literally snapped in half, the results were just incredible. The bowhead whale cells repaired this kind of damage way more efficiently and faster than cells from us, or from cows, or from mice.
But here's the real kicker. It wasn't just about speed. It was about quality. When the whale cells stitched their DNA back together, they did it with amazing accuracy, making way fewer errors and mistakes. This is the secret sauce to keeping your genome stable for 2 centuries.
So, let's put it this way. While the elephant demolishes the whole house just because of a leaky faucet, the bowhead whale brings in a team of elite master carpenters to fix that faucet perfectly, preserving the original house. It's a much more careful and, it turns out, way more effective strategy for a long, healthy life. Okay, so that leads to the next big question. What's powering this incredible, hyper-efficient repair system? The researchers went hunting for the molecular foreman of this elite repair crew, and they found one protein that really stood out from the crowd.
It's a protein called cold-inducible RNA-binding protein. Yeah, it's a mouthful, so let's just call it CIRP. And the team found this stuff in remarkably high amounts in the whale cells and tissues, way more than in other mammals. And this protein, CIRBP, is a true superstar.
It rushes over to the site of a DNA break, it acts like a bodyguard to protect the broken ends from getting damaged further, and it turbocharges both of the major DNA repair pathways. It's basically the supervisor on the job site, making sure every single repair is done fast, right, and with almost no mistakes.
And this is all fascinating whale biology, for sure. But here's where the story takes a turn and becomes something that could have huge implications for our own health.
To see if this super protein could work its magic in other animals, the scientists did this pretty wild experiment. They took the bowhead whale's version of the CIRB gene and put it into fruit flies. The results were just incredible. The flies not only lived longer, but they also became way more resistant to DNA damage from things like radiation.
This is a potential game changer. For the longest time, the idea of actually improving our own DNA repair systems was seen as really difficult, maybe even impossible. But the bowhead whale and now this fruit fly experiment, they give us powerful proof that, hey, maybe it can be done. It could be a whole new way to think about promoting a longer, healthier life.
So the bowhead whale came up with this really elegant solution: repair, don't replace, to live this incredibly long cancer-free life. And it just makes you wonder, by learning from these master carpenters of the genome, could we one day treat aging and cancer not by just destroying bad cells, but by making all of our cells fundamentally better at fixing themselves? The whale's ancient secret might just be the key to our future.